admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney?
Yes,
Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
yes, ma'am, I do believe so. Yes, ma'am.
All right, did you understand in count one and in count two, you're charged with assault on a peace officer or judge bodily injury? That's a second-degree felony in each count. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years and up to a $10,000 fine in each count. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you and your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, he has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, I believe he was.
Mr. Caroline, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, they haven't, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, they haven't.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Okay.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on count one and count two. Punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison in each count. There's a $1,500 fine. Is that to be in each count?
Yes,
And also the state is recommending community supervision. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
That's our plea.
State, is that the plea? Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, there is not.
Outside the plea, the state is requesting that your community supervision,
It was $200, sir. Is what you were going to request.
that your community supervision be for a term of 5 years, there be a TAP evaluation and 200 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to count one, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Count two, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence.
Your Honor, state exhibit number 1 with all of its attachments.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
You may continue to confirm. Showing you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly,
Yes, ma'am.
court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
No objection.
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty of count 1. Court will find you guilty of count 1. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty of count 2, and the court will find you guilty of count 2. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor. We waive PSI.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, it's court appointed, so I asked the court to take that in consideration of assessing fine and then the amount of community service. Do you have a place to stay once you get released, if you are released on probation?
The VA hospital was what I was.
You were going to go to the VA hospital?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Uh,
That's
he's-
where I was hoping to go.
He's a retired veteran, Your Honor.
Okay.
No, I was honorably discharged for.
After 4 years, you were
Yes.
honorably discharged.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He served honorably overseas in the late eighties.
88, as a Persian Gulf veteran, I was in MAGTF 388, MUSOC Marine Expeditionary Unit Special Operations Capabilities. We were rated force in the Persian Gulf in that period of time
He was a Marine.
in the
Okay.
Marine Corps.
All right, well, let's do this. Before I make a ruling on sentencing, Vashon, can you see if Herman can come down? Let's see if someone from Veterans Treatment Court can come down because I want to make sure that he has housing in place. So if y'all will just wait a moment, we'll call someone from Veterans Treatment Court to speak with you, and then I'll make a ruling on on your sentence.
How long will it take? I got another court. I'm doing a plea.
Oh, just, it'll probably take 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Where are you going to be?
The 144th.
All right, if you want to go ahead and go to the 144th, how long do you anticipate that taking?
It's gonna be a plea, however, wherever I am at.
All right, so if you
I'll be
can,
back in a half hour.
all right, so if you can see if he can come here by 10:30? 10:30?
Okay.
All right,
Thank
and
you.
we'll make a ruling.
Yes, ma'am.
Because we have the interpreter, and I'll take you right next. We're back on the record in 2023 CR 10851, State of Texas versus Christian Bonilla. Can I have the parties announce again for the record, please? State,
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
defense.
Albert Titus for Mr. Bonilla.
All right. State, do you have more evidence to present?
We do, Your Honor. I'd like to supplement State's Exhibit 1 with a sheet that I've showed to defense counsel. That sheet identifies the arrested person as Christian Gonzalez Bonilla. And then in the notes, it says he refers to the defendant as AP.
All right, any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, then then the court will accept state supplemental evidence for the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. And the court will add it to that document. After reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments with the supplement, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We'd like to, Judge, if we can.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Only that he's ready to do probation. And he would like to see if he can get early termination.
All right, Mr. Bonilla, I saw that you were traveling in the car with a relative. Do you have any children?
Sí tengo.
Yes, I do. How many and what are their ages?
Tengo dos. Uno tiene 5 años, el otro 7.
I have two, one is 5 and the other one 7.
All right, and do they live with you?
No,
All right. When's the last time you were employed and what were you doing?
Trabajé un día del 4 de septiembre porque era día festivo. No lo
I
trabajaba.
worked before September 4th because it was a holiday,
Y trabajo en la plomería.
and I work in plumbing.
All right. This is what the court will do. The court will sentence you to 2 years deferred adjudication. There's a $1,500 fine to be probated. Proof of employment within 45 days. There should be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. 120 hours of community service restitution. Court will order parenting classes. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. No illegal entry into the United States. Regular UAs. Probation, is there anything else? All right, I'll throw in a driver safety course. We can do field visits 1 time per month for 3 months. But we'll see if he's still here. All right, Mr. Bonilla, is there anything else you need from the court?
No, solamente.
No, that's it.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Sí,
Yes,
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
sí.
yes.
All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record. Do not come back to the United States unless you are here legally. Do you understand?
Gracias.
If you come back to the United States and you're not here legally, that's a violation of your probation. And you will be looking at potentially 10 years in the prison. Do you understand?
Sí, sí.
All
Yes,
right,
I do
thank you.
understand.
Thank you.
Maybe excuse me.
Yes, we're back on the record and Brittany Chapman, 2023 CR 8897. All right. And my understanding you tested negative?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're still under oath. So what have you been doing to maintain your sobriety?
Well, drugs were never an issue, really, honestly, for me, so.
Oh, well, so you and your husband are just getting into arguments because he says
Mhm.
in the police report that you have a meth problem.
He's a liar.
Oh, well, then you all do not need to be together. So there's no reason for them to see each other or be together because she's saying he is not telling the truth about her drug use.
They don't currently reside together, Your Honor, but they do probably need to co-parent the children, but she,
There's to be no contact. So you'll have to co-parent through someone else.
For my son, probably.
that's fine, Your Honor.
All right. Is Child Protective Services is involved?
They were at the beginning. Case was closed. I went out to Guardian Angels and did classes on my own. They asked me to do psychology test, and I did all that when this first case started, so. All I have to do is go back and get all the paperwork or however.
All right. And what is her criminal history?
Your Honor. It's not extensive, Your Honor. You just, one moment, Your Honor, I can pull that up very quickly.
Your Honor, she referenced to me that she's never been in trouble but for this, just before the court today, but I'll let him confirm that.
Yeah, previously, she had 3 cases in Bear County, Your Honor, but they were all closed. I don't believe there was any adjudication of it.
All right. So you're all proceeding with a conviction?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So there'll be 1 year in the Bear County Jail, suspended and probated for 2 years. Take in consideration 2023 CR 8932. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be 80 hours of community service restitution. When did you complete the parenting classes? Did you ever do parenting classes?
No, because I wanted to get the children with me and have them, but there was no communication between me and their father, so I had to have his permission as well.
All right, I'm gonna ask for parenting classes. There's to be, once you complete the parenting classes, the community service hours will be deemed to be satisfied. There's to be no contact with Timothy Amaya. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. I'm going to want a TAP evaluation, follow our TAP recommendations. If TAP recommends inpatient treatment, we'll start with sober outpatient treatment, sober support. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular random UAs, or either she can do the patch. There's to be the BIPP course. Field visits. 1 time per month for 3 months. And then at probation's discretion. Probation, is there anything else she needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, that I can think of right now.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. If anything comes up and you feel as though probation is not addressing it, you can always come back to the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, ma'am. You too.
Gotta remove the excuse, Jesse.
Yes.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Your Honor.